When war returns to the Ten Kingdoms, the realm's survival rests on the shoulders of an outcast and her friends. Sian Grayson spent her whole life caught between the disparate worlds of soldiers and highborns, never finding a place with one or the other. This didn't stop her from trying to earn her knight's sword. But when a confrontation with the highborn leads to questions about Sian's loyalties, she finds herself on the verge of losing everything. Until a mysterious army in black appears outside River End's gates and lays siege to the castle. Amid the chaos, Sian and her fellow knight Thomas are ordered to get the king's daughter out of the city to a safe haven on the other side of the realm. Every day on the run brings them one step closer to the possibility of capture or death as they're pursued by sorcerers and dark creatures. The going gets even harder when Sian realizes there may be a traitor in the ranks. But who? Corruption of Honor Part 1, The Burning, introduces a dark world where swords and magic are not the only things that can decide the fate of a kingdom. Right. So this book was very interesting. And I mean that in the most, well thought out manner. It's basically an epic fantasy. Yes, duh. I'd probably put it on the darker side of things, somewhere grimdark-ish, but I don't know if it's full grimdark, but certainly on the darker end of the spectrum. And basically, it's an extremely well-crafted fantasy world. I really like it. There's a lot of thought that obviously went into the making of the world, the division of politics and history and class, and all of that stuff is very, very well developed, and I find that extremely impressive considering the fact that there's not a lot of extraneous description that goes into figuring out what the world actually is like. Everything is told from, third person limited from Sian's perspective about what's actually going on, and it's really nice to be able to see the world from her eyes in such a way that we also understand exactly what's going on. I enjoyed that quite a lot. As far as the characters go, they're fun. I like Sian. She's kind of got this really trying to prove her way, wounded puppy aura about her. She's dangerous and capable, and she kind of slinks around through life because it's treated her not so great. And yeah, it's really, I like her a lot. I think the other characters are well done. I think they could use perhaps a little bit more personality exploration, although to be fair, it's kind of hard to do that when you're in the midst of a big giant crisis. Oh well. I like Sarah. I think she's an interesting counterpoint to Sian. There's just a lot that goes into that sort of pairing and the dichotomy. It's fun. It's very interesting. I would say that this is one of the better thought out fantasy novels I've read in a while, which is really cool because it's actually a fairly compact piece. Everything happens without extraneous detail. It happens as necessary. You don't need to see these other pieces, and so you don't. And I like it. Yeah, it's a good read. I would say my main critique is that the initial conflict that happens in Sian's life before the big giant war type thing, that one does need a little bit more explanation, simply because it's kind of glossed over and then you immediately jump into the really bad stuff that's happening, and I think I want to see a little bit more of that, because that explains a lot about what Sian is thinking and why she's thinking it. And I think that's very interesting. It also explores Sian and Sarah's relationship, which is another thing that is very interesting. So just, you need a little bit more of that. However, I think there's probably going to be more in books 2 and 3, which are already out if you're interested. There's so much going on. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Anyways, as usual, all the links are in the description box below. You can find A.M. Rycroft and her books there. She's fascinating to talk to. Great person. I really enjoyed her books. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's perfect for this cold, rainy weather I'm having in the middle of May, because that's a thing. I'm ready for spring, like proper spring. Anyways, enjoy this book. Perfect read for people who haven't yet hit spring, and perfect read for people who have hit spring and can actually like sit outside and read. Also a thing that I'm looking forward to eventually. Alrighty, anyways, as usual, all links are in the description box below. You can find my links there too if you're interested. I also have other books. Or you're free to talk to me about books, about the weather. I will gladly complain for many hours about the weather. Or talk about books. It's all fine. And that's pretty much all I've got for you today. So, have a good one, and I will see you next time.